A story that's not getting the attention that it deserves, but I think it's really quite something. There is a man facing prison, but the president could be about to change that. This is Keonne Rodriguez. He was convicted on money laundering charges after creating a service which allowed users to add an extra level of privacy to their financial transactions, and that would mean that they would keep government out of their personal financial business. Now, his case is back in the spotlight as a presidential pardon is being considered, and GBNews' Ben Leo spoke exclusively to Keonne, who's just days away from being sent to prison for a crime that he says he should be pardoned for. Here it is.
In 2 days' time, on December the 19th, you have to surrender yourself, don't you, to the authorities in the United States, where you'll serve a 5-year prison sentence for, just tell us what you've been accused of. You did run the Samourai Bitcoin wallet. Just for layman's terms, for people who aren't familiar with what you've done and what you've been accused of, just tell us why you're facing that 5-year sentence in just 2 days' time.
Me and my partner built a piece of software, a Bitcoin wallet. And with that Bitcoin wallet, it allowed our users to transact with Bitcoin in a manner similar to physical cash, the same type of privacy that one would get using physical cash notes. In 2024, so again, 10 years after we started, I was raided by the FBI, 50 armed agents. My partner was raided by the FBI and the Portuguese judicial police in Portugal. And we were accused of operating a unlicensed money transmission business, the same type of service that you would consider a bank or another financial intermediary. This is the first time in the United States that a software developer who created only a tool is being charged as a bank-like entity.
President Trump signed an executive order this year after taking power in January, basically saying, long story short, that they wouldn't go after certain crypto companies, including, if this happened now, this Trump administration wouldn't have raided you because it falls under this executive order. Is that right?
That's right. The Trump administration did put out an executive order. The Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, put out a memo to all of his U.S. attorneys saying, we are ending regulation by prosecution. We are no longer going to be holding software developers responsible for the actions of their end users. We'll go after the end users who commit crimes, not the software developers who create software.
So in just 2 days' time, on December the 19th, whilst everybody else in the world, even many of those people who used your software, Samourai Wallet, they'll be planning to enjoy their Christmas. You, meanwhile, Keonne, will have to surrender yourself for a 5-year sentence. I think it was a $250,000 fine. And am I right in saying you had to forfeiture something like $6 million of your own assets between you and Bill? Is that right?
Yes, that's right. The $6 million was the amount that the company earned over the course of 10 years that we were in operation. They asked us to forfeit that, which we did. And then they added an additional $250,000 fine. It's a lot to deal with. But I think the best strategy and what I've been trying to do is keep a level head and take care of the actual small logistical challenges that my wife is going to face without her husband being at home.
This is when President Trump was asked by a reporter about your situation and your colleague Bill's in the Oval Office and whether he would consider granting you a pardon. Let's take a look.
This week, a man named Keonne Rodriguez is going to federal prison for creating crypto privacy software. The case was started under the Biden administration, but your DOJ kept it going and secured the conviction. A lot of people in crypto are saying that this man should be pardoned. Are you familiar with the case at all, or would you be interested?
I've heard about it. I'll look at it. Why, you think he should be pardoned? Sounds like it. Sounds like, based on your question.
So, Keonne, were you expecting that question from the reporter there, and were you surprised? You take any confidence or kind of relief that President Trump is aware of your situation?
I was not expecting it at all. It came as a total surprise. And what a surreal moment to hear the president, say your name and what you've been working on for 10 years. No, it took me by surprise, but I think it's a very positive step. I've always said that the biggest challenge for Bill and myself is going to get the president's attention. Everyone is competing for his attention, and we don't have the power or influence that others have to grab it. this president very uniquely is intimately aware of what a weaponized Biden Department of Justice is capable of, and how they stretch the truth, how they go over the top. They did not need to raid the president of the United States, the former president, in Mar-a-Lago, but they did. They created a show. So this president is uniquely aware and would see, I think, a lot of parallels in his legal troubles with the Southern District of New York and the Department of Justice under Biden and ours. So I think the chances are much greater now that reporter asked the question than they were previously. So cautiously optimistic is how I would frame it.